What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Reddit Red. Today's episode, we will be reading from the subreddit AskReddit, asking them what facts sound true but are actually false. If you enjoy the content at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. Let's get into the post. Reddit, what fact sounds legit but is actually fake? My girlfriend goes to another school. In Canada. The US $2 bill is no longer printed for circulation and as such has been hoarded by collectors. Because it's been hoarded, it's extremely valuable. Actually, $2 bills are still being printed, though none will be printed in 2020 because there is enough supply of them to meet what little demand there is. Since they are hoarded by collectors, and money collectors are really the only people who want multiple $2 bills, there is almost no extra value in them. Basically, anyone who wants $2 bills has a stockpile of them already, and anyone who wants one and doesn't have one can easily get one from a collector or even your local bank. Since no extra value exists in them over their $2 face value, many hoarders are willing to part with one or two. If you tell me the truth, you won't get in trouble. A cop to 16-year-old me. NASA spent millions of dollars on a pen that could work in space, while the Russians just used a pencil. They didn't spend the money developing the pen, Fisher did, and then approached NASA. Also, they wanted a pen instead of a pencil, so there was less chance of a graphite breaking off and getting into electronics. Carbon monoxide is heavier than air, so put your detectors close to the floor. The first people to die of CO poisoning are the ones lying down. Reality? CO is about the same density as air. In fact, it is actually slightly lighter than air. This myth likely started because CO fatalities are most likely to occur while people are sleeping, because they're not aware of the symptoms of the poisoning, i.e. dizziness, nausea, etc., versus those who are awake. Also, might come from animals being affected first, or little kids. It's not actually because they're closer to the ground, it's because they're smaller. Should be obvious, but might feed the myth. Always wait 24 hours before reporting a missing person. This can actually be quite dangerous. Listen guys, I shouldn't have to do this, but I know I have to. I'm warning you guys to not take this stuff for face value, because who knows if it's true or not. I don't vet it, I just read it. Let's get back into the video. If a baby bird falls out of a tree, touching it will make it smell like a human and cause the mom to abandon it. Not true. On the US interstate system, it was designed so that at least 1 mile in every 5 miles was straight, so that it could be used as a runway for the military in case of war. This was done to appease certain politicians that opposed the massive spending on the interstate project. 92% of people will believe a statistic if you use a high enough percentage, and the other 8% will believe it if the percentage isn't exactly 100%. Hair grows back stronger after being razored off. I was told this for so long. A 12-year-old has a sense to see that the stubble that occurs after shaving just feels and looks more coarse because of the blunt ends. And I was taught this by every female role model like it was a gospel truth. That one hits close to home. You don't know how many razor cuts I went to school with when I was younger, thinking I was going to look so cool with a beard in a year. Let's just say I learned it didn't work the hard way. Speaking of younger years, here's another one we believed when we were kids. Swallowing the gum will make it stick to the stomach. Why is it bad to swallow gum then? Or is it actually okay? My most embarrassing life story involves me getting a gumball machine for Christmas when I was 6 or 7, and essentially eating the entire machine worth of gumballs in a single day, leading to a rock-hard, ass-busting, solid gum turd that scared me emotionally for years. Swallow that one piece and live your best life though, y'all. Caffeine can stunt your growth. Caffeine doesn't stunt your growth. It's been scientifically proven that an average dose of caffeine has no effect on your height. Caffeine does not affect growth hormones unless it is absurd amounts, like 35 cups of straight caffeine, not 2 cups of coffee and a Mountain Dew. 35 cups of caffeine will affect your growth by killing you. Exactly. It's hard to grow when you're dead, Dad. I just threw that last bit in there. Not a fact, however, sweating like a pig is a phrase often used, and seldom do pigs sweat. They're always rolling around in the mud to keep cool. Actually, pigs are incapable of sweating. They must roll around the mud or find some other way to cool themselves, or they'll have a heat stroke. You can, however, fart like a racehorse. Coconuts have hair and produce milk. Therefore, coconuts are mammals. We only use 10% of our brains. I know people in this forum that use far less than that. Hey, don't drag me into this. Oh, sorry. Didn't think you were able to understand that whole sentence. I think that whole exchange just expressed our current political climate. That popping/crunching joints on your hands will give you arthritis. It's not true. I read that it's not your muscle or bone cracking, but just air escaping. It's the synovial fluid being moved around the joint and displacing gas bubbles, which is why you can't pop the same knuckle twice in a row very easily. You have to wait for the gas to move back into the joint to be able to displace it again. That your blood is blue when there's no oxygen in it. If you tell me, I won't get mad. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. They're also mad. The first video ever to be uploaded to YouTube had to be taken down in 2016 for violating their terms of service. Eating carrots improves your eyesight. This nugget of false wisdom originates in World War II Allied propaganda in its efforts to conceal a technology from the Nazis. One of the ways the British defended against bombing raids was holding blackouts to make it harder for the incoming planes to find their targets. At the same time, the Allies were curiously good at shooting down German planes despite the blackouts. This needed a cover story because it was incoming pun warning. Blindly obvious that small mobile aircraft are slightly harder to target rather than large stationary factories in cities. Hence the explanation that the defensive gunners were supplied with a diet high in vitamin A to promote good night vision, hence carrots. It's true that a vitamin A deficiency can contribute to vision loss. The public garbled this into a notion that excess vitamin A intake imparts supervision. Actually, what adequate vitamin A mostly does is prevent the cornea from excessive dryness, which can be one cause of clouded vision. The myth about carrots persisted in popular culture long after radar stopped being a classified technology. Lightning never strikes in the same place. Okay guys, we're gonna end it there. Thanks to the OP and all the commenters for some interesting back and forths, and thanks to you if you stuck around till the end. If you like what you hear and want more, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Reddit Red. Bye!